Cape Town Torah High is a dual curriculum Orthodox Jewish high school dividing the school day between the full range of Torah subjects and the highest level of general studies in a supportive and educationally progressive environment. They empower students to think critically, behave ethically, and embrace learning. The Derech Eretz team paid a visit to this beautiful and unique school.
There are those within the community who need something else. So I would say that there are three groups that need a Torah high school. The first are the rabbis, generally who want a Torah education for their kids. The second would be religious people who may not be rabbis and they're professionals working in various industries, but they want to live in a community when they have an option to educate the kids on the highest level of Torah education. And then there are those who are not even necessarily religious, but just want to give their kids a more thorough Jewish education.
What is very unique about having a school like this in Cape Town is that we actually have kids on the whole spectrum of, from the unaffiliated, modern Orthodox, Chabad, Mizrahi, Haredi, all different types of Jews. So it's quite beautiful to see, whereas in other communities, it's like, every school has their shita, their way. And here we've actually found a way to have all different types of children. There's many different ways of expressing Torah. You can see the many different communities around the world, and we've got our mini, kind of island around that at Cape Town Torah High.
One of the pillars in which we stand is that we would like the children here to be lifelong learners, to understand that learning is something which is part of your very being as a person. We should always be learning, and that learning isn't something that happens while I'm at school, during the hours of school. That learning is a lifestyle. I would love children from the school to come out of the school going, I really know myself and I know what I'm interested in, and just to be free to explore the world and who they are in that world.
So I think that the Kodesh, it plays a very big role in the identity of the child. It's not just about the education, about the information that they master, but it's more about how they develop like a self-concept, like of who am I as a person, like why am I alive? What is my purpose in life? And therefore, it's like really a foundation. And education is most successful when the child knows who they are and they have a mission, they have a direction. So I think the Kodesh side is obviously there is an educational aspect. There's a lot of academics. We study a lot of different subjects, and they're assessed, and they have to master them, and the children grow. But the Kodesh is the most important in terms of developing the identity of the child.
Another example, let's think about the other mitzvah. Anyone have an example of a mitzvah that we do?
Well, if you've got food, then you say bracha.
Very good. You say bracha on the food, so you elevate that food. Or at a meal, that you make a blessing at the beginning of the meal. Everything that happens in that meal is now elevated. The idea of these mitzvahs is they actually elevate and they spiritualize and they make meaningful the entire item on which the mitzvah is conducted.
The curriculum is divided into the Jewish text studies and into what we call general studies. We spend about 3 hours in each section, and the boys and girls learn separately. So in the Kodesh, the religious studies group, we have many subjects that we cover, from the prophets to the 5 books of Moses. There are many subjects, including Jewish law. And then in the general studies side, between grade 7 to 9, we follow a CAPS curriculum, which is the same as any other government school in the Western Cape, so that if a child does want to transition from the school to a different school in those grades, they're able to do so very easily.
In South Africa, you select a few courses to do over 3 years and you matriculate. The American system wants students to be involved across many subjects for a long time and only make actual educational choices when they're a bit older, because the American-based system is modular-based. So the students learn in modules and they get tested within the module. But then once everything they've learned in that module, they then take it to the next module. But they don't have to study for 3 years and write a final exam, which is the be-all and end-all of passing. So that was the philosophy of education that I believed myself personally to be a powerful way to actually equip students to make sure they get to the point of education where they actually are showing their true strengths.
We use blended learning, where the children use both textbooks and online resources. So normally in a classroom where you have the sage on the stage, the maths teacher up at the board, the class has to go as fast as the child who's not understanding the least. So with blended learning, when it's a video on the screen, they get to pause the teacher and they get to rewind, or they get to watch it at their own pace and not feel like they're imposing on the class, or that they're feeling irritated because the class is going too slowly for them. There is always a teacher in the room, so that if they do not understand the work from the technical support, that they can go to live support and ask for it to be explained to them verbally.
The advantage of a school like this is it has an exponential effect, really. It raises the bar of what's possible for Judaic studies education. And what it does is it actually creates a whole generation of leaders, of kids that go out, the boys and the girls, they go back to their communities, and based on what they're learning here, they're automatically becoming more active in their shuls and their synagogues and their camps and their youth programs, because they're equipped, automatically become exponentially effective, and they impact the whole community.
Taking children and developing them to be proud mention who are contributing members of society in their Jewish life areas and in global society. So these boys and these girls are contributing to the Jewish community. They're contributing beyond the Jewish community. So I hope for every student who walks out of this type of system of education to be filled with a love for Torah, a love for the Jewish people and for people in general, and a love for Hashem and a closeness. And it really brings joy when you really see that happening for your students, and to watch the alumni actually embodying this.
I feel the Derech Eretz of the school is to create an environment for the teachers, the students and the parents, where people can explore and get to know themselves, and so well, then they're so comfortable with who they are, that they're comfortable with who their fellow man is, so they're at peace with themselves and peace with their fellow man, and can make a difference in the world according to their Jewish values, and to embrace the world as a place of learning.